Hello, and today I'll be speaking to Fernanda Ellis, who is a UK chartered accountant and a Brazilian tax lawyer who advises clients in both countries.
Hi, Amit. Hello.
Hi, today we're going to be focusing on the IRPF, which is the Imposto de Renda de Pessoa Física. That's the Brazilian tax return. And we're going to be talking specifically about the declaration of Brazilian shares. So Fernanda, tell me firstly about the extension. The deadline's normally the last working day of April, but it's been extended until the end of May, right?
Yes, the deadline has been extended to the end of May, which is fair enough due to the impact of the pandemic.
Sure.
And we were glad to see it had been extended.
Great, so a bit more flexibility, just like last year, right?
Yeah, last year they extended for longer, but this year is to the end of May.
Sure, good stuff. Okay, that's helpful. Although it's obviously beneficial to be organized and submit your tax return as soon as possible for greater peace of mind. Well, I have a few questions on behalf of some expat clients in Brazil. And this is regarding the declaration, as I said, of domestic investments. My first question is, how should shares be declared in the asset statement of the Brazilian tax return?
Okay, so this is quite interesting, and it's different from UK and other countries because in Brazil you have to declare your assets. So even if you haven't sold or if you still have the same assets as last year, you have to declare assets. And for shares, there is a section there, Declaração de Bens e Direitos, and the code for share is 31 for listed shares on the Brazilian Stock Exchange. Yeah. So you declare the existence of the shares and have to put the exact codes.
Sure.
And then as well as using the appropriate code, there is a place for the descriptions called discriminação, and you're required to detail each position. So you need the company name and the ticker. Okay. And the interesting thing there is that you have to say the quantity of shares and the average purchase price of each position.
Okay. So for example, like if you buy, for example, Banco Bradesco, you buy it, let's say you buy it 2 times, you list the average price. So 100, let's say you buy 100 shares at 25 reais, and then another 100 shares later on at 23 reais. There's 200 at 24, for example, right?
Yeah, so you just declare once that you have Bradesco shares, the average price is 24, and then you have the, you have to use the details of the country code and the ticket. Yeah.
And then if you're not necessarily selling out, but let's say you're reducing your position and then increasing it, I would imagine you maintain the average price up to date, right? To declare it year end.
Every year you keep calculating the average price. So the average price is the price that you paid, but it's to do with the fact that if you sold or if you purchase new shares, it will impact the average price.
Okay, great. Okay, our next question here. This is a popular question which people have been asking me, well, over the last few years, but particularly over the last couple of years as more people have got into financial markets, right? In the UK, for example, shares just pay a dividend, whereas in Brazil, shares can pay a dividend and or something called juros sobre capital próprio, which is JCP or JCP. So there are 2 categories of payments, like dividends and juros sobre capital próprio. How should these be declared in the income statement?
Yeah, so as well as declaring the existence of the shares, the fact that you own the shares, you have to get the documentation that shows how much was paid in dividendos and how much juros de capital próprio. So dividends are declared in rendimentos isentos e não tributáveis. So it's in the not taxable part of the tax return. And each company and their CNPJ, company tax number, should be listed with the value of the dividend. So that's how you declare dividends, as rendimentos isentos e não tributáveis. JCP is declared in rendimentos sujeitos a tributação exclusiva definitiva. So that means that any tax has already been taken out of the juros. Okay. And then you also put the CNPJ, which is the company's tax number, and the company name, along with the value of each JCP payment.
Okay. Yeah, so it's important to note that there's no tax payable. There's no tax payable, but they have to be declared in an organized manner. And just for our viewers, I mean, when I started doing this years ago, it seemed like a lot of work. There's a lot of paperwork, but I've kind of automated it, and I'm quite organized. So I guess if you have a system of keeping your records up to date, it becomes easier every time, I'd say. If you just keep it all on a spreadsheet and you keep all of your records and statements, practice makes perfect, right? But it's probably better to talk to a professional at least the first time, second time, or depending on the level of complexity, right?
Exactly. It pays off. Yeah.
Yeah.